I want to be an adult film star. I want to do that for many reasons. I think the first and most obvious reason for me is that it's just a broader like political reason that I want to deconstruct this idea that we have that nakedness is something that needs to be hidden or covered up, and we should have shame about our bodies being in public nude, or sex is some sort of like dirty act, and kinks are weird and all these other things, when all these things are like super normal. And I want to have like a normal, like functioning, regular life while also doing porn. And I think also it's beautiful to show like people that, I mean, this is not what porn is. Like, it's not about like showing like love necessarily all the time, but I mean, it's definitely acting. And obviously there are different pockets of it, right? Like, you can do homemade, or you can do with the company that does a certain type of porn, or porn for women, porn for men, and certain audiences, right? So this is not like a catch-all, but I think overall, like, the act of sex to me is something that can show love. And it's not love in like the very shallow sense of the word, like, oh, I love you, that sort of thing. But I think there's like a deeper meaning of love that goes into another video I'll make, which is about why I don't believe in monogamy, which is like, I have this very like loving personality where I will attach to like people very easily, and will like have like feelings for them, and like think they're super cute, and just think they're adorable. The things that they do, like, it doesn't really matter your gender. Um, I just have this sort of like attraction to like everybody, which is why I think I care so deeply about a lot of people. But also, yeah, just that's the kind of love that I'm talking about, where it's like not just like, oh, we're in a relationship, we're married, we love each other, like, this is my family, we love each other. But no, this is like, we're all humanity, we're all one, and yeah, we're connected. So I think that's a big reason too. But yeah, I think those are the main reasons. I think one thing I probably also want to share is like, there's like that whole idea. I was watching like the Pete Davidson interview on the Breakfast Club, and he was like talking about how he like used the whole 8 Mile method. And I always think about that Big Sean line from, I think it's First Quarter Freestyle. Um, and then there's like, I mean, every somebody kind of goes through it, where it's just like, you know, you want to kind of put yourself out there first, so that like nobody can like use that against you, right? So it's kind of like beating them to the punch, where it's like, oh, like, people get so upset. It's like when their nudes are exposed, and it's like, so what? It's another naked body. Like, it's not the end of the world. Like, it's not anything serious. It's not like anybody hasn't seen anything that you have before. Like, I mean, even if you do have like a condition or something where something's different down there, it's not like it's gonna change really. Like, people are gonna notice it, and then it's like, oh, okay, now on to the next thing. Like, life keeps going on. Like life doesn't stop for any of this, right? People can have it on their minds for a while, but it's not gonna. They have their own lives to occupy their mind and their life. So, um, I want to kind of use it in that way as well, where it's like, I have nothing to be ashamed about. I have nothing to hide, and I want people to know that. And I think that's part of me being, like, my true authentic self, where I want to be. It's like that David Icke, I am me, I am free. I feel like he talked about maybe nudity or something. I haven't read the book, but I feel like he talked about that in some way. But um, yeah, I just want to make sure that I'm like, you know, sharing myself, because I just feel like there's just this so like burdensome like ick, and like just unnecessariness of like, oh, like indecent exposure, like this is like the fucking like 1300s, and everybody's in fucking like church or something, like, or religion, which is a huge problem for all of this, because it's like the religions are teaching us, it's like, oh, I mean, sure, you can say our bodies are sacred, but that doesn't mean like it's wrong for like somebody to not have clothes, and then you're like ridiculing them, or you're saying it's disgusting, or you're saying it's inappropriate for them to have a body like without clothes. You could even say it's classes. You know, it's kind of a push, but you know, I mean, in a way, I mean, it's also true. You know, it's like, what kind of signal are we sending to our culture and to each other with that? So I think those are pretty much like the main reasons. I think another just cherry on the top reason is just like I think it will be super fun. Like I know like the actual acting part of it, and like production part of it is not that. It's not like you're actually like having sex with somebody, right? Like you know, if you're doing like one of those films, you know, it's like you're kind of like, okay, you gotta stay hard and, you know, come the right way when they want you to. And, you know, the people are like getting you in different angles and blah, 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 blah all this stuff. And, you know, it's more of like a movie, right? Where it's like, okay, you're doing a bunch of takes, I guess. I really don't know what it's like, but that's what I feel like I've heard or something where it's just like, yeah, you're doing it a lot more for the production value rather than like, oh, like you're just gonna be like having sex for like 5 minutes or something. Um, and this could also expand into like, you know, having like nudity art of myself or just, you know, me and other people. Um, I think it's just gonna do a huge thing for our culture to break down this sort of like esoteric and like archaic rather, um, yeah, archaic way of living life, which is like, you know, it's inappropriate for somebody to see your body that they also have a body, and we like make fun of people for their bodies, and then we feel uncomfortable when people are exposing their bodies. It's like this is also another point. I'm glad I was thinking about this, saying this because I'm thinking about this other thing that I was thinking I wanted to mention, which is I think a lot of times, like for example, um, one thing I think I shared in a previous video was that like when I came out as pansexual, I started viewing women a lot differently because I realized that my attraction to other genders, more specifically like men, would trigger me to be like, oh, I can't always think of somebody as like an object first or like something to have sex with first. It's like, sure, you have attraction to somebody, but for me at least, it's so built in. Like growing up, it's like, oh, immediately when you see somebody, it's like you're running through your head. Okay, it's like, would you have sex with them? Whatever, blah, 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 blah. You know, it's like straight to the end, right? And like that's great and all. Like nothing's wrong with that. But I think for me at least, I saw that it was kind of damaging for me because, you know, that's a certain type of love. But then I think there's also the other type of love, which is like you see somebody's full personality, their full body, their full humanity, and the sex is kind of just like, oh, that's like something that's given in addition to just like how amazing they are. You don't have to be like an amazing person, but just like how attractive or how kind they are, or how like sweet they are, just like their vibe. You know what I'm saying? So all this to say, I noticed that, and then now when I watch a lot of videos, might sound crazy, but I'll like watch videos with women, and then I'll imagine like what it would look like if they weren't wearing like a top, right? So if they just had their breasts out, and it does actually something really powerful for me, like where it's not necessarily. It almost takes like the sexuality away from the breast, which is like it does and it doesn't, right? Like I think it makes it more it makes it less like I think objectifying, I guess is the right way. I don't really know, but it makes it more where it's like, oh, I'm seeing the full humanity of this person. And I think that's what nudity does. It's like, you know, I think like covering up parts or like saying this is a private part or this is like you can't see this or it's inappropriate to see this is just so stupid because it's just like, you know, for so many reasons. I mean, I just think that's stupid on face value, but I think for this example, it's just like, oh, like it's like the thing I said before about like once you see something, it's like okay, like life goes on. You know, it's not like okay, you see breasts and then you see breasts every day. It's kind of like how I saw this video about a girl saying like oh, you know, like she sees breasts and it's nothing, and then a guy sees breasts and it's like oh, super attractive, or somebody that's heterosexual, right? So, um, yeah, I think that's a huge thing for me, where it's just like, okay, now it's showing me that I'm like thinking about how much space I have on my camera, if the mic's going right. I like did no test before this, but anyway, sorry. Yeah, I think it's just showing, I think, humanity in people, and I love doing that when I like watch videos, because I'm like, man, like I kind of like them more. I kind of like them more when I imagine them naked, and then I'm just like, damn, like we're all the same. They're just breasts hanging, and I still love them, and want to hold them and kiss them, and you know hug her, hug him, and whatever the case is, just imagining them naked, it just gives it more of a human feel, like, something to hide. It's kind of just like, you know, if you, I don't know if this is true or not, but I feel like if you like hit a certain part of your body for whatever reason, and then, or like that would become like sexual all of a sudden, right? It's like, okay, like once you reveal that part, it's not private. It's like this mental game almost, where it's like just because we're hiding it makes it more like one makes us want it more or something. So I don't know, but I think those are pretty much all the reasons of why I want to become an adult film star. And anybody out there that's in the industry, hit my line. Anybody out there that has thoughts on this, you have similar thoughts, you have different thoughts, I want to hear them all. Yeah, hope you enjoyed watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.